you want to still talk about who's going to vote when, or who's going to be working at the polls?
Oh yeah, how are we gonna break this up? Bruno gets sworn in as a selectman pro tem, either before Tuesday morning or at Tuesday morning by Chris or Kim or
Pat
something.
said she'd do it as well.
Good. So, he's good for 4 or 5 hours in the morning.
Okay.
So, I'm pretty good most of the day.
So Bruno would like the morning. What works for you, Pat?
I can come in after that. I'm okay. I can be most of the rest of the day.
We're supposed to have 2, right?
We're supposed to have 2 there, and they might want, I mean, they're not gonna shoo any of us if they've got extra help. It is government and it's gonna be busy.
I can do the mornings with Bruno.
Good.
I push for the afternoons. I got a parent conference earlier in the afternoon. That'd be handier for me to come down after the red school.
I'm good from 10 o'clock in the morning till, or 10:30 or whenever.
I'd be there by 3:45.
Yeah, but okay, I got
Okay.
10 to 4.
Yeah, I'll be there in the morning and
Yeah, good.
yeah. So
You know,
I might have to be in the morning also because we have one car and he's taking it. So he could drop me off in the morning. And I was just planning to kind of be around a lot of the day. So it's okay, right?
do you want midday?
I'm just gonna come and be there most of the day.
she's saying the Dave's going to abandon it for the whole day.
He's abandoning it.
So
and
she's
he's
not taking a
He's going
shift.
away, so I'm just gonna be there.
Don't we have Uber?
We don't have Uber here.
Maine had pushed pretty hard for that, but it didn't come through
It
yet.
didn't happen? Oh,
No.
my. Okay, but I'm just gonna show up and then we'll deal with it.
Okay.
And
Yep.
if I need a ride,
It sounds like
We'll find your ride.
we don't have a lock from maybe 11 till 4, or 12 to 4.
I'll feel around.
We might be, short.
I mean, I might like leave and walk to the other store because you've got 40 people or something. You know, but other than that,
Would you rather I come in midday, Steve?
No, I'm okay, I'll be there midday, but, so you and Bruno got the morning?
Yep.
And,
I'll be there, like I said, by 3:45.
okay.
And I'll stay there till the end.
I can hang around at night while they kind of balance too.
We should probably urge people not to do a lot of crazy write-ins, because that makes the night a whole lot later if we're
Yeah,
gonna
but
count
you
those
gotta-
things.
Those are town-
Real write-ins are fine, but the Mickey Mouse and stuff.
Town elections that we get the right in.
Yeah.
So Kim's got a phone call in as to when you folks should be, sign the oath and stuff like that, which the RSA says you gotta do. Appreciate this.
We did set the tax rate at $22.94 for 2016. Parker reported that the chimney repairs will be complete on the townhouse by Monday.
Yeah.
So he'll be all set there. The new stove's been installed and the lock on the bathroom door has been changed. I don't know if you guys want to talk about the bids for the legal and auditors, or do you want to wait?
It's the board's wishes. We should probably get a couple of each in here just to chat with them. For the legal, I'd say we should talk with Drummond and talk with Mitchell.
Okay.
That's my thing. I would agree with that. We'll give Steve a second, he hasn't found the paper yet. You all set, Steve?
Yeah, good, both of them.
And then on the other, we get the auditors of Roberts and Vachon for the 2, if you like.
Those are really the only 2 that...
Right, 'cause
Yep.
the other's the one that we're currently with.
Do you want to bring them in as well?
Well,
Or you just want to make a decision on those two?
I'm of a mind that, it might be a healthy thing for all concerned if you change that every once in a while, so we know the work of the current company So I think we should look at the other two in terms of, you know, anything that would be an overwhelming change or would mess up the treasurer and the office in terms of switching companies, but costs are pretty close. Well,
$3,000.
yeah.
Well, we bring them both in.
Yeah, that's what I would say, is
Wanna do
bring
that?
both.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing that I'm concerned about with Robinson Green is the extras.
Right.
That's what I'm
But when
concerned
we get
about.
them in here, they may be able to clear
They were
out.
already higher.
Yeah,
They're already higher, and then there's a chance for extras there, so.
Okay.
but then we can't say we didn't make an educated decision on both fronts.
You had originally talked about having some attorneys come in and speak with the law firms as well. Did you still want to do that?
Yeah, I'm not opposed if, you know, any of the local attorneys would bite.
Okay.
I know we had a few that we had discussed.
It was, I think I have the names. Okay. I'll set that up then. I did tentatively schedule a meeting for the sandwich board, to meet with the sandwich board on November 14th at 5 o'clock.
Yep,
Is that good for everybody?
that's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me, I
For
got
you.
a commitment.
Is
And
that
that was
alright?
supposed to have been the next municipal safety building meeting, was the 14th, I believe. But 5 o'clock there might work for
Right.
at least one of you guys to make it back. for
Yep.
the-
Yep, we
That
should
was the
be.
only thing, is I didn't
Yep.
want somebody to forget.
Yep, no, I think we should be back, but,
Sandwich at 5,
yeah,
municipal building at
7
at 7.
at
so
Central.
we should be fine.
I'm gonna email TCC and the library, and I'll head to that municipal building committee meeting with you.
Yep,
Okay. And Paul Kim is available to be at that sandwich
great.
meeting as well. Did the board agree to ask the gentleman who did this compensation study to update the study from 2014 to current?
And furthermore, if they're willing to do it at the same rate of pay the first
Right.
time too.
And then,
Fits the budget better.
There's only one of them here right now, so no daggers, please.
we'd also like him to look into doing STEP.
I would. I did a little chart, but I'd like some help with it. We'll see if they have any other ideas and suggestions for some kind of a merit system.
So is this something you've come up with that you'd like the board to look into? Have you heard from other employees, or?
No, I haven't
No.
heard from anybody. No. I just thought if we're gonna be working on the personnel policy, it's a good step to work that in as well. The personnel policy does say you're supposed to do reviews every year. And it's just all for conversation.
Yep.
you know.
When we asked that wage and salary study committee to take a look, in addition to, I'm wondering if they can get information on longevity, which would be part of the step thing. I'm a little hesitant about billing something as merit, but
Well,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it'll open a conversation
you bet.
to do, okay.
See, it's the only member of the 4 that did it the first time. Do you think you'd have interest in coming out of retirement to,
To do it again,
yeah?
the whole thing?
Well, you don't have to select the town, you don't have to select the towns.
You've already done some of the work.
He seems pretty enthused about it.
I happen to know one thing. What's the name of that government agency group? 'Cause I heard this at another place too, that government that you call
Right,
for
and that-
information.
NHMA.
And they're coming out, 'cause they
But
do every other year.
They do it every other year.
There's some, because I don't know.
And not every town participates, it's all sort of voluntary.
We did our own survey, basically.
You did.
Right, and that's
Right.
why what we had was far more effective.
What was key
It
in
was
what
really
you
good
did
what you guys did.
was the identification of the towns. because the NHMA survey is by population, and you pick towns that were similar tax rates, similar populations,
Right.
similar assessed valuation, which NHMA, you can't glean that from NHMA's. Although that's a great, I'm really glad they do that, but,
It was a good starting point, is that
Yep.
we realized
Right.
pretty quickly that they didn't have the data we had.
correct.
So, what's the step thing you're talking about?
The,
You know,
No,
It's a tool that the towns, I've only seen it in the towns, use where all the jobs are leveled. So everybody would be a certain grade level depending on what they do. And it's a step to increase for their salary.
right, I
So you
understand
go-
what steps there, like
Yeah.
in teachers' unions and
Right,
stuff like that.
right.
But I wasn't aware that we had jobs in the town that had steps.
We don't,
We don't.
we don't,
And you think
Might
we
like
should
but we might
look
like to
at it?
have, yes.
Okay.
I believe the state of New Hampshire uses it.
All right. Are you aware that other towns do?
Yes,
In
That I'm
non-unionized jobs?
yes. Yeah. I mean, I can certainly get, but I didn't want to do anything until, of course, I had the board's support and,
Well, yeah,
We can-
I'm sure we could look at it, to get the group back together again, that should be fun.
the information that your committee provided was invaluable in terms of fair and equitable treatment of a number of positions that were woefully underpaid. And, I'm sure that this board didn't rectify every inequity, but we got an awful lot closer, especially with some positions that have been paid well, exceedingly poorly compared to the towns, similar assessed valuation.
So we could go in and update the positions that we had, assuming they're the same,
Yeah.
or if they're not, we'll make adjustments, and then deal with the other issue, because we did, in that survey, we talked about benefits as well, didn't we? Didn't we cover certain benefits?
a little bit.
did.
You did,
Yep.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And we could certainly ask the question about steps. I
Mhm.
mean, then you'd have to find out, like, how many towns actually do this.
Right.
And I think we had like 20 towns that we surveyed.
Mhm.
And most of our survey was, we just called them up and sent them a form and they returned the form.
Yeah.
So, but it took us a
It was
while to
really-
get to that point.
Right.
You know.
I'm hoping it won't be that difficult this time because the basis is there. You're not starting from scratch.
Well, what's the time frame you're talking?
We don't know.
Yeah.
It's almost Thanksgiving,
I
guys.
know, I know.
that was what I was saying.
Well,
No, I mean, when do you need it?
you're probably thinking on towards this year, but
I'm-
even if
I
we didn't
really-
have it until next year.
Until next year, I really
It
wasn't.
would, we're not looking, I don't think we're looking to spend any more money, but we also wanna, make sure we're keeping up and that we're
Right,
being
and,
fair with everybody,
Right.
taxpayers and employees alike.
and I was looking more towards the future because we're supposed to be looking at a personnel policy. So that would just be combined with that as well.
Okay, well, I'd be happy to call the other members of the committee.
Great, thank you.
See what they
The
do.
good thing about the NHMA study is that they do it. The bad thing is that it's usually too late for budgeting purposes. But, being 6 months behind is an awful lot better than having nothing. And I can understand where your committee is probably not gonna be able to generate this thing in a short amount of time, but
But we kind of disbanded.
but we have your names and we know where you live.
You want to re-up?
Everybody's still on speaking terms though, right?
So when did we do this? Was this a year? year and a half ago?
2014,
14, yeah.
When?
2014,
2 years.
2 years.
2 years, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think if you
Thank
could do
you.
it in the upcoming year, we're not looking to have it done this year.
I don't
No,
think-
I'm not, no.
I don't think it'd be
Well, no,
Right.
if you do it in
Right.
the upcoming year, take plenty of, it's gonna take some time again.
Okay.
Well, that's it, take your time, so it doesn't become too much of an arduous task for you.
Well, I mean, we charge a lot, so it's.
No, I know, and you're worth every penny, Dave,
I volunteered you for that, by the way, sorry. The first time.
That's it from me. I just need you, when you're doing that, you make sure you put this in there as well. Also, we need to read this. to this, and you guys need to approve. And that's my name goes in there.
I have selectmen's minutes from October 20th. So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
I have non-public minutes from October 20th. So moved.
Second?
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I have non-public meetings of October 20th.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Accounts payable, 253,000.
Sorry.
He's out on that one.
Accounts payable, $253,431.83. So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The checkmate payroll of a total of $24,400.92. So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Fairpoint for a replacement pole, for a pole license on Brown Hill Road.
Yeah, you missed the back.
Thanks.
Yep.
Heavy yield tax levy for $903.10. Intent to cut 406, lot 28. Intent to cut for map 410, lot 6. Have a property tax warrant, $3,897,621. So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
What are we doing here, Darrell?
This is for the grant paperwork for the Moose Plate grant. And we voted on that last week to allow Kim to sign the paperwork. It shouldn't have been Kim, it should have been the town administrator. So we need to read the resolved piece again and just agree that
Okay, that this municipality shall enter into a contract with the state of New Hampshire by acting by and through the Department of Culture Resources, New Hampshire State Library, providing for the performance of this municipality of certain services as documented in the foregoing fiscal year 2016 and 17 Moose License Plate Grant Conservation Grant Application.
you don't even have to sign it. You just need to, we need to make a minutes, show in the minutes that you agree
Yep,
to
that's
it.
just
Make it the administrator.
Yeah.
And Kim has to sign off too, right?
Right.
So what do you need to?
Nothing. I'm just gonna put in the minutes that you guys agree that that's fine.
So that didn't change anything from 2 weeks ago?
It only changed that I'm gonna be in charge, or they're gonna call, I'm gonna be in charge of the financing piece, not Kim.
Okay.
We had her in that spot.
Okay. Did you pick that up later?
I'm sorry?
Did you pick that up?
No, she did.
Kim?
She had filled it
That's
out wrong.
probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I'm good.
I'd like to close the work session. To call the meeting to order for the public comments. Public comment.
She's on the agenda. Okay, so you wait, yeah.
No public comment?
No, you're a public comment.
Okay, so this is
That's you.
John Evans, Shakora. A couple questions for the board, if I may, and also I wanted to say something about, I was throwing out here at the past meetings about a certain Chief Colby possibly was insinuated that she'd been stealing time from our town. 5 hours and 15 minutes, and I think the public deserves to hear what. I just don't appreciate that. When I sign off from my PD, I've been over here in Tamworth PD one time for 45 minutes with former Officer Littlefield doing investigation, but I was not signed on down there at Carroll County. I was with Officer Littlefield another time after I signed off from my PD for an hour in our town PD. There's been times when I've actually talked to somebody on the selectmen board here about a person in my town that I work at. It was a phone call. Dispatch, they called trying to get hold of me, so I called them. I don't sit there and tell dispatch, hey, put me on for 20 minutes, I just had a conversation with this individual. But I did it because it's my job, and I expect to get paid for it later. That happens. So over a 20-day period, someone said that she took 5 hours and 15 minutes to request to be paid. Things happen like that. And for someone to insinuate that she was stealing money or hours from our town, I just, as a person, didn't appreciate that as a police officer. So I wanted to ask the selectmen, have you designated our dispatch to do timesheets for our PD? Are they doing that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, not that I know of. So why that was even brought up the way it was, I do not know. And it baffled me that it was thrown out there to the public that our chief was stealing time. I have a couple other questions, and I'm aware of 91A, so I'll be careful what I ask you guys. Prior to you dismissing our chief, did you seek legal counseling?
No.
No? I can tell because if you had, I personally feel no lawyer, even 1 year out of law school, would have told you to do what you did. This town is in for a rock and roll. We're fixing to lose $1.5 million over lawsuits because of what these people did.
Are you saying that we didn't have any legal advice, Jim?
Limited.
Very limited. One other question for y'all.
Sure.
Did any of you three, 48 hours to a week prior to making this decision, have a private meeting with the former chief about what you were going to do?
No.
No? Okay.
What was that question again?
Did any of you three discuss what you were planning to do and vote on with the former chief prior to dismissing Chief Colby? Within the 48 hours to a week?
No,
to the actual
I didn't.
dismissal? Okay. One final thing, this is just advice from what I'm seeing, what's taking place here. I would not bring anybody on board, the former chief, I specifically, until this issue is resolved. I think the town needs to see like everything is above the table until this works itself out. I highly recommend not to bring the former chief back until this is resolved. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
What former
Yes.
chief, can I just clarify what former chief he's talking about bringing back?
I don't have to answer to you.
I'm asking the board if you can clarify that.
I'm assuming it's a conversation that Chief Poirier brought up at the last meeting, that he'd be willing to come back. I don't know. And the paper quoted that prior, a few weeks ago.
Right, I just want a clarification if that's what he's referring to.
I don't know. That's all I know is
I'm
what
just
Chief
asking
Poirier
if
brought
he's
up.
asking If that's what he's asking.
He was talking, didn't hear you. Tell him we need to ask him.
So you're not gonna ask him, because he's not gonna talk to me, and I can't ask him a direct question.
You want to specify which chief you're referring to?
That's the chief I'm referring to. I saw, unfortunately, I couldn't make the meetings there, the last two, and I saw that he was throwing his hat into the ring, basically. And I would suggest, and for his own good too, I would suggest that you I would keep everything above table until this is resolved. Because it doesn't look good, like, oh, now you're gonna bring someone back in that had hard feelings. It's been a rock and roll all the way through. You know, he and his little pack of little chihuahuas have been from day one on her ankle. And I suggest that you just stay clear of it all. Try to keep it as clean as possible.
Yes.
Has the board thought about Dan's offer to come back and help this town, even after everything they put him through? His gracious offer to help this town through budget season, has the board discussed that at all?
We have not discussed that in public.
It's,
So
you
you've
know,
discussed it in non-public?
Excuse me?
Non-public, you've discussed it and just haven't made a decision?
Briefly in non-public.
I respect the offer that Poirier made, but at this point, there's nothing to say beyond that.
Okay.
Any other public comment? Moving on. Sergeant Cooper sent us a note that he wouldn't be able to attend tonight. We do have the police stats if anybody would like them. Is Kim coming in?
I'm not sure. Let me ask her.
But we can go to Pat.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pat, do you have anything from the economic development?
Not exactly, but sort of. We're postponing the meeting, which is next Tuesday, election day.
Postpone, yep.
We're gonna postpone until the 15th, and that's gonna be, that's going to be
That's
at the
Tuesday.
Chicora Preserve on the Tuesday, on the 15th, is that right? And after that meeting at 6 o'clock to 7, at 7 o'clock, we've invited a number of the townspeople, and that's to introduce them to the idea of the Tamworth Visitors Bureau, which will be independent from, as far as their structure will be. We're happy they're doing it, economic development, but we're not running the show of it exactly, but we're supporting them.
What's the date?
That's going to be the 15th, which is a Tuesday, 2 weeks from this past Tuesday, or a week from next
It's a week
Tuesday.
of elections. Yeah,
Right,
15.
so the week after the election.
Not Pat?
That's it, sorry.
Highway?
Kim decided she doesn't need to come in. Kim decided she doesn't need to come in.
Okay. Let it, Pat.
That's it, thank you.
Can I sneak in the highway department?
Certainly.
Good. Some of you passed by and they're crushing materials over in the highway department lot. And you probably noticed the sand pile. And the trucks are getting winterized and getting equipment attached because Well, you know what's coming. Anyway, what they're doing is gearing up for snow season. Right now, they've been clearing some trees and cleaning some ditches, and we're gonna do some work on Old Mail Road before the snow flies, that Madison Boulder size thing by the west end of Old Mail Road near the Iron Bridge. And they're, you know, they're pretty busy. They didn't say it, but I think most of us think that it was a banner year for them, especially if you've driven on Pease Hill Road in the west end, or Chicago Lake Road, or looked up McGregor Hill Road, or any of that.
Every road's pretty good now.
I'm sorry?
Every road's getting pretty good now. They're doing a
Jeez.
hell of a job keeping
Yeah.
up with it and
Yeah.
putting the state to shame, actually. Whatever.
And transfer station's all well, although Glenn's gonna need some assistance at budget time. And he's working on the tires, the rear tires on the tractor. Getting another opinion probably from Richard.
Have it, Steve?
I'm done.
I'd just like to say, if anybody knows of a piece of land in town that has gravel or sand on it, they should bring it to the town's attention. A number of years ago, I want to say it's about 11 years ago, when the town bought that piece of land where the highway garage is now for $100,000. We thought we had enough material there for the town for 20 years, and it looks like it's going to be close. But the year prior to us buying that piece of land, the taxpayers for $100,000, we spent $33,000 for winter sand that year before. So that's really helped out on the other end of the highway department to be able to get the sand as well as the gravel they're crushing now. We save about $6 for every yard that we crush there, being able to have our own material. So we should be looking ahead for another piece of land. So if you want to donate a piece, we'd be willing to take it. Library trustees?
Sure. I could speak, or Mary could speak, or we could.
You could take turns.
Take
and
turns.
skip as well. One of the furnaces in the library, specifically the one that heats the children's area, is no longer working, and we need to have it replaced. Mary has copies of the bid that we've gotten from the Shane Heating Company. We could give you a minute to look that over. Do you want a copy also, Stephen? I have the copy.
I did speak with Gary last week as well, and asked about the options of those mini splits like that Mitsubishi does that are in a lot of houses that we work on, that are really efficient, but he brought up some really good points to why that probably isn't the way to go at this point. One is, I've only really used the AC side working on a hot day, and press the button and it's beautiful, blows great AC into a bedroom or a living room or whatever. The library rooms are a little bigger, the ceilings are higher. He said AC wise they work pretty well, but our AC system's working fine. Heat wise is where they're not nearly as good or thorough, I guess, as what we already have. So I've also called someone else and I'm waiting for to get his input on it, but it seems like this is the way to go at this point, speaking with Gary, and again, waiting to hear from someone else, but it's kind of one of those things that we kind of have to have, unfortunately. And it's cracked, it's not just, there's not just an issue that could be fixed with a part, the body's actually cracked, so.
Needs to happen soon.
It needs to happen soon, and it's obviously not free.
So in the attic.
It's in the attic. he said it's not a big deal to get it up there. They've done it and to get it down. I mean, the attic seems like an odd place, but it's where there was room, and it's well insulated now so that it doesn't cause ice dams on the roof and stuff, so.
Is that the only quote that you have?
I believe so at this point, and I knew you would ask that, and I'm waiting to get another quote, but I have not received that yet.
Yep.
It's that time of year, you know, guys are busy in fairness,
Yeah,
to
for
do
sure.
what I'm waiting for, so.
Has the quote been public?
No, I don't believe so. I mean,
We just got it.
it's, yeah, it just happened.
Are we,
Excuse
can we
me?
know what the quote is, or?
Yeah, that's, see why not, it's not, it's
Oh, yeah.
7264. You would like to.
No, that's fine, I just curious.
I mean, yeah, it stinks.
Seven-
We didn't budget for
75.
this. Let me put it that way.
Do you have the money in this year's budget?
If we cut something out,
We have money to cover part of it. We were wondering if there were any funds available to cover the other part of it, the balance. Yeah. And the trustees meet again on the second Monday, 13, 14?
14th.
Right. And so that have a good discussion at their meeting and decide how to manage the rest of this year. It would be good to know if there could be funds available.
Do you have any questions about the safety of the situation now? Or
Well, right now, because it hasn't been too terribly cold, safety, do you mean as far as the library getting too cold or just it not working? He's off right now, it's not on at all. So what's happening is, it's cold over there, so it's
Sure.
running about, 61 degrees on a good day. And that's from heating the rest of the library and trying to get it over there, because it's on this side.
But there
Put the
is
heat on
no-
downstairs.
it doesn't have to be done tomorrow morning for safety.
No, but it needs to be done
but as
before
soon
winter.
as possible.
Yeah, we don't know when it's coming, but it might be the day.
Right, it could be tomorrow.
you mean it hasn't already, Ken?
Yesterday was.
It's warm out now, it's just raining.
As I recall, and I should have it in front of me, the library included money for furnace replacements in the CIP, and it's out a bit because of the expected life expectancy of those, which is, and I know you've cut some stuff in order to replace furnaces recently to upgrade stuff, and there was a capital improvement, there was a capital reserve fund for library equipment for just this thing that
It's been depleted.
you spent all of replacing a furnace, which was a good idea. So I have no question that it should be done. It's just a matter of where the
Right.
money comes from, and I would hope that if the library budget can afford some, I would hope that our equipment.
Do you have a number that you can
line-
afford?
We have
So we
a
know what we're
meeting
looking
in
for.
2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah, we just had our budget meeting, and this happened
This
kind
happened
of during
last-
that.
the Friday before last, after the
And-
last trustees meeting. And so there is funds in the library budget, we need to look and decide how to manage them. So I think we could manage, half of it.
Right. We were hoping, if you asked us for a number for 3,500, if you could not promise us that, but if there would be a way to find that. I will say Mary runs a very frugal library. She is
Absolutely.
very, very careful. And things will have to be cut for even us to pay for some of this.
And will services to the public be cut?
What might happen is we wouldn't get the new laptop that we need because one of them is kind of old, or the carpet we wouldn't do the carpet cleaning that we usually do this time of year, or we wouldn't buy as many books at the end of the year. But that's what would be cut, so it's nothing that's, gonna impact anyone
I
greatly.
don't think it would be noticed, if that's the question.
If the library hadn't planned for any of this, I could understand where you'd want to cut services in order to get it done. But the library's been pretty slavish about, pretty particular about planning for the replacement of these things and extended the plan as far as reason would allow in the CIP. And so if in spite of that, there's an equipment failure that premature equipment failure, and you're not replacing it with the equipment that failed previously, I would hope that we could find it in the town's, the total cost in the town's equipment line, as opposed to cutting the plan, purchase of books, service to the public, cleaning, normal maintenance. I would hope that you wouldn't have to cut back on that.
I'm naive here, but do we have a rainy day fund set up for something?
We have an equipment fund.
We're here, to be honest, because we don't know.
We have an equipment fund that's, I don't think we've ever tapped, but that's there for this
Something like
type,
this?
this is failed equipment that's,
You don't know off the top of your head, Darlene, what the balance is?
I don't, I'm sorry.
So maybe the question maybe is, could you, before our next meeting, which is the 14th, maybe we could get some kind of an answer, just so we know what to work with.
Would tomorrow be all right?
Tomorrow would be fantastic.
And you guys are pretty sure that you can cover half of it anyway?
I believe.
Without the
With
public
giving-
noticing, we'll
Right.
we'll
Without
make
closing the
some
doors
cuts
2 days
here,
a
we
week or
just
something
trim
like that, yeah.
some things that we,
I think I can make a phone call after the meeting and find you some money. I think I know somebody wants to donate some money, so.
thank you.
That'd be great.
What number do I call? Or I'll have them call you.
Call you, Mary, or-
Yeah.
Call the library, 223-8510.
8510, is that?
8510, yeah. Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow.
Is
So
there-
it's 3,500 that you're looking for?
Roughly.
Yeah,
Is there a
unless
way
they
to find out about
really
this
felt
equipment?
generous.
We wouldn't turn anything down, we
we
just
over
give it.
that, I'm just saying.
Is there a way to find out about this equipment?
I'm not, I'm
though?
just leaving it out there, that's all. There's no ceiling on the generosity.
How do we look into that equipment fund, the rainy day fund thing? Is that's not this person who's interested in donating money, that's something separate? Is there a way that I could find out?
Well, I'll just have to talk to Kathy tomorrow.
Okay, should I
But
get,
then I need to talk to the board too, so I'll get back to you.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
I'm sure this person will help. I think they helped with a couple other projects with you people over there in past years.
It's really, really nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks. Anything else?
Thank you.
That's all we have, I think. Is it, Mary? Thank you.
That's it for today.
Selectmen updates?
I went to the training on Monday, and that was it. Employee training. Did we pay for that? Or did they just send somebody?
They don't pay for that.
Thanks.
That's outstanding. That email from the community school about, I don't know if they emailed the town offices, but they emailed John and Jim and myself about, they're looking to donate, last year they had a wreath over the the front door, and they had a wreath on the back door made by the students. It's kinda nice.
No, I
And
didn't get an email from them.
I'll forward mine.
Okay.
And I'm all in favor of them donating something. You know, they're pretty good about that, and pretty good about town government also. And last year it was, I believe it was people who knew something about wreaths as opposed to those of us who don't know jack about decorations.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that email, but I'm in favor of it.
No, I got an email reference the wreaths that they were going to be selling, and they were gonna be available early December, but I don't remember anything as far as.
First time I saw this one was this afternoon,
Oh, okay.
before I ran down here that they, I didn't copy that. I mean, I didn't.
Last year we bought wreaths from them. They donated one, I think, but we bought some for the
Oh,
for the
For
doors.
the other stuff, yeah.
Townhouse and these two doors. Yeah, I believe. I think we bought 4.
Anything else, Steve?
No, I'm good.
Jim?
He covered it.
The cemetery trustees have had 2 meetings the past couple weeks. We're at the end of our 3 years on our mowing and maintenance for the cemeteries. We received new bids that'll start in 2017. It looks like all the outlying cemeteries and Chicago Cemetery will be mowed by Jeremy Beauchesne, and Riverside and Ordination Rock, Cleveland Hill, will be mowed by J&S Masonaries, who's done it the past 3 years. So, that's all I have. Old business? Did you say that the meeting in Sandwich is the 14th or the 15th? I know it's the 14th here.
It's the
14th for that, the 15th for Pat's deal over Shakoroa.
Okay.
What time's Pat? What time's the visitors bureau?
It's, that part of it starts at 7.
7.
From
Okay.
6 to 7 is the Economic Commission.
Yeah,
Okay, on the 15th, yep.
I think I got it.
Irene's wife?
I just spoke with Rick again. He's been in and out of having little surgeries here and there, so he hasn't really, but he's gonna get a full up.
Okay.
Still on them. Yes.
I have to be speaking to Glenn Evans, who's
Yep.
been around for a while, and ask him what memory he may have of Irene's Way. He said he can remember plowing it many times, town plowing it many, many years. So I think you were looking at one point in time to find any residents who might have memories, and I think Glenn would be a person who would fall in that category.
You said Glenn Evans?
Glenn Evans, yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks.
You didn't get a written affidavit or anything for sending this
I
in?
was just gonna ask you that.
That's
You
about
wanna
what
do
you-
that?
yeah, Glenn, if you get a verbal, you're doing well.
We'll record him sometime.
Yeah.
We'll get him here with these
Better do
guys.
it quick.
He remembers that the town plowed it?
Yes.
Was he
His
working?
father was, well, I'm not sure, his father was road agent at one point in time. We didn't get into the details if
Okay.
that was when it was done or not.
Probably thinking back even into the 40s maybe.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's good. Public comment?
Just curious, I mean, are we still at 1 police officer, and what plans, if any, do we have to go beyond that or stay at that level?
At this time, we have 1 full-time. Sergeant Cooper was gonna see if he could possibly find some part-time help to help him for a little bit here. That's where we're at right now.
Do we have any time frame for, I mean, this seems a situation that's been in flux for most or all of the year. Is there any time frame or goal that we think we might be, are we planning to go back to 3? Are we gonna go to 1.5, 2? Do we really understand what the situation is?
I would hope to get back to at least 2.
Yeah, you're right, right now, stuff's in flex. You know, speaking only for myself, I would like to see us get back to, 2, maybe back to 3 like what we had. I mean, the 3-person department certainly worked for us. And,
Yeah.
at the same time, don't want to rush into anything like that.
Even if you had 2 full-timers and 3 part-timers, it'd be cheaper than 3 full-timers possibly. And
Right, 3
you
equivalent.
get
It
2
could be
and
3 or
3.
3 part-timers
Yeah,
and
that
2
would really,
full.
you get your coverage that people have been wanting, in a sense, that we haven't had for a long time. With
Yeah.
calls for service.
It's been a while since I noticed that, typically we used to have a cruiser across from the school, during opening and closing
Yeah.
of the school, just to make sure people weren't speeding when you come down. I haven't seen anybody there in quite a while.
Sergeant Cooper has been spending time there.
Good,
Yeah.
that's good.
I'm not in town a lot during the day. I can't tell you exactly when, but
Yeah.
if you wanted to meet with him, I'm sure he would tell you, but he is
Okay.
spending some time there.
I can attest that he's there frequently in the mornings because it works out that I'm coming back from leaving my kid at daycare and
You
he's
don't slow down.
getting ready to, I slow down anyway. I drive like an old person. But no, he's either there or en route a lot of mornings. I do know that we're getting morning presence for sure.
And we had asked him a few weeks ago, I forget exactly when, to make sure that he did spend some time there,
Okay, good.
all he could, so. Any other public comment?
Like an old person?
I'm old. It was a vintage person, I'm sorry.
All right,
Steve.
there
Is
it
that experience?
I'll make a motion to go into non-public under RSA 91A32, A and C, and then we'll be adjourning.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.